Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're going to be talking about these two cheek trios from Nars. These are both part of their holiday release. So today I'm going to give you all the info on these. We're going to compare them. I'm going to do swatches, demos. Let's get into it. This pink cheek palette is called the Orgasm Infatuation Cheek Palette. This is the Sephora exclusive palette. It is also available from the Nars website. This one with the red packaging is the Heartbreaker Cheek Palette, and this one is an Ulta exclusive. I have not been able to find it on the Nars website yet, but it is available from the Ulta website. These two cheek palettes are similar in a lot of ways. They are the exact same size and shape. Each one contains 3 powders, and they are both retail priced at $42 US. Both palettes come in the exact same packaging on the outer carton. Same Nars logo, same artwork. You'll just see on the back of the cartons here that each palette is pictured. There's also a little tiny font here and on the end that says which palette is inside. Both palettes have a very similar style. They have this metallic looking, spiky, very punk rock style to them. Both palettes are a heavy duty plastic. Both have a lock-in clasp closure, so they're not magnetic closures. On the Orgasm Infatuation palette, the metallic look carries all around the entire palette. Whereas on the Heartbreaker palette, the metallic looking plastic here is just on the front, and then they have the classic soft touch matte black packaging on the back and on the sides. Both palettes have a mirror, and neither one comes with a brush or any kind of applicator. Each one has 3 pans, and the pans are all the same size in here. Each pan in both palettes is 3.5 grams, which means both palettes have a total of 10.5 grams, and value-wise, each one is $4 per gram. Let's take a look at some of the differences now. The Orgasm Infatuation palette has a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. The bronzer and blush are cult classic Nars shades, Laguna bronzer and Orgasm blush, and this highlighter is the Orgasm highlighting blush, which just is Nars' way of saying highlighter. I don't see this Orgasm highlighter individually sold anywhere in pressed form. There is a loose powder Orgasm highlighter, but it seems that this pressed Orgasm highlighter is exclusive to this palette. On the other hand, the Heartbreaker palette is still 3 pans, still the same size pans, but these are all blush shades, and these are all shades that already exist within the permanent Nars line. We have Luster, Orgasm, and then Amore. These all can be purchased separately any time of year. None of these are limited edition shades. Before we get into the swatches and the demo, I just want to go through a little bit of the price per gram values of these palettes. When it comes to palettes and sets, looking at the price per gram value is a really important thing to do in my opinion, because typically you're getting a much better value than you would purchasing these products individually, even if pretty much all of these powders are available year-round. This is a great way to get a good value for your dollar. Let's start with the Orgasm Infatuation palette first. Since it has 3 different kinds of products, this one's a little bit more complicated to calculate the value. Let's start here with Laguna. If you purchase a regular full-size Laguna, you get 8 grams of bronzer, and that'll cost you $40 US, which means Laguna bronzer is $5 per gram when purchased individually. Blush is the most expensive per gram when we're looking at all these equations. A regular full-size Orgasm blush is 4.8 grams, and that'll cost you $30 US. So if you purchase this individually, you're paying $6.25 per gram. When it comes to Nars highlighters, these are the best per gram value. A full-size Nars highlighter has 13.9 grams of product. Those are huge pans, and those are priced at $38 US, which means when you buy a regular full-size Nars highlighting powder, you're paying $2.73 per gram. If I take those prices and I project them onto the grams in this pan, 3.5 grams of each, The total value in here is just under $49. So it is a good value. You are paying $42 for this palette, but keep in mind you're getting a special limited edition shade. You're also paying for the special limited edition packaging. So it's not blow you away value, but when you do the math, you are saving a couple bucks with this Orgasm Infatuation palette. It's a very different story when you get to this Heartbreaker palette because it has all blushes. And like I just mentioned, the blush is the highest per gram price from Nars. A regular full-size blush is $6.25 per gram, just a refresher. And you're getting 10.5 grams of product in this Heartbreaker palette, which means the total product value just in the powders alone is $65.63. Plus you're getting the cool limited packaging. So when it comes to just straight dollar values, the Heartbreaker blush palette is an insanely good value. The main thing to keep in mind with this one is that you might already have one of these blush shades because these are all permanent colors in their line. Just something to consider when we're comparing those. I think it's really important to keep those values in mind, and also keep in mind whether these are going to be doubles in your current makeup collection. Now let's look at the swatches. I'm going to swatch all 3 shades from each palette on the back of my hand with no primer, no foundation, just powder straight onto my skin here. I'll be doing both a finger and a brush swatch. For my brush swatches, I'm going to be using this strobing brush from Real Techniques. I'm using this in place of an eyeshadow brush. This is a slightly more dense duo fiber brush, and I'm using this because I want to show you these products with a face brush. These are face products, so I just think this makes the most sense. This will give you a more accurate look at what these products will look like with a face brush. First, we're taking a look at the Orgasm Infatuation palette. These are the finger swatches, and down here are the brush swatches. I didn't go back over these a lot. I just did a quick little one dip into the product to show you that these products are really buildable. You can get quite a lot of intensity out of them, or you can wear them really lightly for a more natural glowy look. Of course, we have Laguna Bronzer, the Orgasm Blush, and then Orgasm Highlighting Powder. These are the swatches from the Heartbreaker Cheek Palette. Again, finger swatches and then just really light brush swatches. First up we have Luster, Orgasm, and Amore. Now that you've seen all of the swatches, let's jump into a quick demo using both of these palettes on my cheeks today, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. I say this in pretty much every Nars palette, blush palette video. The value in the palettes is always so great, especially with this blush palette, the Heartbreaker Cheek Palette. You're getting so much for your money here. There's no denying that price-wise, the Heartbreaker is the better choice. The only thing to keep in mind here is while you are getting this really beautiful limited edition packaging, there are not any limited edition shades in here, so you may find that there are repeats within the shades that you already own. The only other downside to this palette, in my opinion, is that these shades are not going to work for as many skin tones as the shades in the other cheek palette. You saw from the swatches, these powders are very, very buildable. They can be intense, they can be worn really lightly for a more natural look. I love the versatility of the Nars blushes, and just their powders in general are really great quality, really easy to use, user-friendly. I love that. But shade-wise, I think that this Heartbreaker palette is geared more towards fair, light, and medium skin tones. With the exception of the Orgasm blush, which is pretty well known for being universally flattering. All in all, I love the Heartbreaker palette. I think it's a great value, a great deal. Perhaps if one of these shades was replaced with one of their deeper blushes, it might have been one of those works for everyone kind of products, if such a thing exists. Overall, I think this is a great deal. The main thing is I just don't think it's for every single skin tone. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you have a really deep skin tone and you love these blushes, please let us know. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just going from my gut and going from what I know. Definitely beautiful palette, great value. When it comes to the Orgasm Infatuation palette, I found myself reaching for this much more. I don't know if you could tell from the close-up. This has been very well loved over the past few weeks. While the price per gram value isn't quite as high with this palette, I think a lot of the value comes in the form of this highlighter. This one seems to be a lot more intense on first application than their newly reformulated powder highlighters, which are a little bit more of that subtle sheen, lit from within glow. This is a little bit more intense. Not only is this a limited edition shade that you can really only get in this cheek palette, but I see this particular warm, bright champagne shade really working across a lot of skin tones. It's a great complement to the Orgasm blush. If you don't already own Laguna and Orgasm blush, I would say 100% go for this palette. This has been my go-to. I've just been using this as bronzer, blush, and highlighter for the past couple of weeks. It's so easy. These shades work beautifully together. Laguna bronzer isn't completely matte. It has just a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not glittery or sparkly by any means. It's like this satiny sheen that just looks so healthy and beautiful. I have dry skin, so I love a little bit of a shine on my cheek products. So even though the dollar value, like price per gram wise, isn't as high on this one, I found myself reaching for this one more and just enjoying this one just a little bit more. That's all I have for you on these new Nars holiday palettes. I would love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you go and check out the video I did on the Nars Hot Tryst cheek palette, also part of their holiday collection. I'll link that down in the description below. So check that one out next. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. What am I trying to say? Ooh, excuse me. You feel me? What? Pull it together. I feel personally attacked by Nars palette packaging. Anyone else? My dog's about to start barking now. It must be mail time. Is this a are you drunk? I'm not. It's Nargasm. Why can't I talk today? Could it be all the caffeine? I'm sure that's not it. Ma'am, so excited. It's so pretty. Yay. Okay, that's enough. Bye.